Hey everyone, my name is Brian Tabler. I am the Facilities Director at the Jewish Community Center. I thought I'd just show you a few things that we use around the building that can make your life easier at home, just some simple tools. First off, this old building, it's a huge building. We have different breakers everywhere, and a lot of times it's hard to find where those breakers go to. They're not always labeled the best. So what we have is, we made this in the shop. Our maintenance staff made this in the shop. It's a light switch with a plug on it, and what it does, it overloads the breaker. So if you go into a room, you plug it into the outlet, and you flip the light switch, and it overloads the breaker, and the breaker trips. So you go to the panel, and you see what breaker is tripped out. This device is a little bit hard on breakers, so I wouldn't recommend this at home. What I do at my house is, we have 2 kids, and we have some leftover baby monitors. So at my house, what I've done in the past is I will plug the camera into an outlet in the room that I'm looking for the breaker. I'll plug it into the outlet, I'll take the monitor with me down to the breaker box, and I will flip the breakers, and as soon as that camera goes off, I know that I've found the breaker, and then I'll label it. It's time consuming. It's easier if you have a partner to help you go room to room and see what breaker goes to which room. But if you're by yourself and you need to do that, a baby monitor is a fantastic way to do that. Next up, I also have at home, I have a little girl with long hair, and my wife has long hair, and we constantly have clogs in the drain. I don't have that problem, but different chemicals, Drano and that kind of stuff can be hard on a plumbing system, especially on old cast iron pipes. It's safer on PVC pipes, so if you have a newer house, it's a little more friendly. But usually most clogs in sinks or shower drains or tub drains don't require a plumber snake or any kind of a big maintenance issue. Usually it's right at the surface, just below the drain. You can go to Home Depot and pick up one of these for like 99 cents. It's a piece of plastic. You just stick it down the drain, give it a couple twirls and pull it out. It's not a fun job, but again, it's $1 versus a plumber snake, or we're calling a plumber, or a bottle of Drano, which could be $10, $15. A neat little trick I've heard, if you buy a big plastic 5-gallon drum of any kind of chemical, a lot of times they'll have a zip strip on there. You zip it off, and it'll have these little nubs. You can actually use that zip strip off of a 5-gallon bucket and use that as well. The next thing on the subject of plumbing, a lot of houses built back 50s, 60s used copper tubing for water supply lines and under faucets and toilets, refrigerators, if you have a water dispenser in your refrigerator. Home built in the 80s, 90s, a lot of times they use plastic lines, which can get dry rotted and crack. I recommend go to the hardware store, look in your house. If you have any plastic lines, I have one on my refrigerator that I'm getting ready to change out. Get a stainless steel braided fitting, make sure you get the right size. But those plastic tubes can crack real easily, especially after a few years, and you can have a flood on your hands and a lot of water damage. So spend a few dollars extra, get these braided hoses. I put them under my sinks at home, and like I said, I'm getting ready to do the refrigerator. And again, it's a few dollars more, but it may save you a big headache down the road. This next device I don't use very often, but when you do need it, it comes in handy. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's a rod, it's flexible. On this end, it has the finger hold and a plunger. Just push it in, and when you push it in, 4 little prongs come out, and they grab whatever it is you're reaching for. If you drop something in between the refrigerator and the countertop and you can't move the refrigerator, you can reach back in there and try to grab it. Or if you drop something down the vent, like a floor register for your heating and cooling system. I know my kids drop stuff all the time on the floor, and one of these days I'll need this to get it out of the floor. Great. So, store's easy. Just hang it in your garage or basement, and it's there when you need it. The last thing I'm going to show you today is gloves. This is a regular pair of work gloves. However, we do have a pair that I can't get to right now of magnetic gloves. So if you're doing a lot of carpentry or you're up on a tall ladder, using any kind of screws or nails, you put the glove on, and if you have a bucket of nails or screws with you, you just slap the back of your hand into the bucket of nails and you have all of them stick to your hand. That you don't have to constantly reach for them. They're right there on the back of your hand. Here's a picture of one so you can see what it looks like with the nails on it. And it comes in handy, they stick really well, and it saves you a lot of trips up and down the ladder.